Oh, absolutely, Steve. And of course, the president has to be a Christian. I mean, there are a lot of complexities when it comes to how this government is going to eventually form. And the question, of course, is for the economy, really, how quickly they're going to actually be able to form a government. We know, of course, that Saad Hariri is expected to remain in power. Hezbollah, of course, picking up seats in the south and as well as in Beirut. But the big question, of course, going forward is whether or not this country is going to be able to maintain their commitments to fiscal reforms that they committed back in April at this International Donors Conference. Of course, this is something that they need desperately in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of getting this country back on track. I mean, this is a country that literally hasn't been able to take out the trash because they can't decide in which community to put the facility to do that. So, of course, there are a lot of questions going forward about how quickly a government will form here, in spite of the fact that you saw Saad Hariri, the current prime minister, with so much support over the last several months after his sojourn in Riyadh. I mean, he came back much stronger. And at the same time, though, his bloc has lost seats. This is 128 people in this parliament. And of course, the big question going forward is, as I say, whether or not this economy is going to be able to get back on track as a result of these elections. Guys?
Hadley, I have got a question for you. And given the fact that the recent history and the Saudi's influence in the region as well, and we know what's going on in Syria and the powerhouses, Syria, Iran and Saudi, and the concerns there as well, is Saudi orchestrating this election? That was the question I guess many people want to ask, given the fact that Hariri did turn up at one stage in Riyadh.
Well, they certainly have influence, but there are many, many people with influence in this election. I mean, the question, of course, always with Lebanon is not a question of corruption. It's just a question of how much in terms of people are getting paid to come out and vote, people being paid to sway their vote one way or another. Remember, of course, Saudi Arabia isn't the only country with influence here. Obviously, the UAE is involved in this country. Qatar has an influence in this country. And of course, Iran, via Hezbollah and other parties, has a major influence in what happens in this country as well. And of course, with the United States looking to sanction Iran, looking to sanction Hezbollah, they have to be very, very careful here not to, upset the entire system, because at the end of the day, Hezbollah is a major political party in this country, even though they are, of course, designated a terror organization by the United States. So the question, of course, going forward is whether or not, when it comes to the finances of this country, things are going to remain stable. And of course, that's something that the prime minister has said that he wants to continue to do. The central bank governor has been very, very keen to do the same. But the question, of course, remains as to whether or not Iran's influence in this country is really going to allow that to happen. Guys?
Hey, everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.